Hey everyone, it's James from FunFoods, and today I'm gonna show you how to make this Nerds cheesecake. Now this is absolutely amazing, so keep watching and I'll show you step by step how to make this. The first thing we want to do is start out with some graham crackers or any other dry type biscuit. I'm gonna use 9 graham crackers, just like this. I'm gonna put them into a food processor. You can put them into a clear bag, like a plastic bag, and just smash them into bits, but I'm gonna grind them up real fine using a food processor. So I have 9 of these, place it in my food processor. Now, I also thought about putting in the nerds inside of here, but instead I want to put in some sprinkles. These are just colorful sprinkles, and I'm putting about 1/4 of a cup. Now we're going to put our lid on and we're going to grind this up until they're fine bits. All right. Just make sure there's no big chunks left in there, like this and this. Just crunch them up. Next, what I have is 6 tablespoons of melted butter. Pour that in there. And mix this up. Now we're going to bring in a 9-inch springform pan. These are classically used for making cheesecakes. I'll put a link in the description below to get a hold of one if you don't already have one. They're just so much easier because the pan pops open and you can get to everything nice and easy after it's all done. So we're just going to take, this is our crust, and put it all in there. If you want a drier crust, you can use just 4 tablespoons of butter. I like to have a wetter crust, so I'm using 6 for this. Now you just take your hand and spread it around. To make sure everything's nice and even, just take a glass or a flat bottom object and just press it in. Now, if you wanted your cheesecake to have the crust go up the sides, you just use more graham crackers to make that. But I want it to be this way because I want to decorate the sides with some nerds. Now we'll just take this, we're going to put this in the refrigerator for about a half hour or so, so it'll firm up. Now with a medium bowl, I'm going to take 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. And with our whisk attachment, I'm going to whisk this up until it forms stiff peaks. All right, so once it's formed stiff peaks, I'm going to remove my whisk attachment and bring in our mixing attachment. Next, in a large bowl, I'm going to add 2 packages, which is 8 ounces each, so 16 ounces total, of cream cheese that's softened at room temperature. Then 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. And we just want to mix this up until everything's well combined. Now that everything's well combined, what I'm going to do is add in a package of nerds. Now these are classic nerds. It just comes grape and strawberry. We also have the rainbow ones, which I'll use to decorate the finished product at the end. So I'm going to open this up. And pour this whole package of nerds in there. Just mix that in. All right, so after that's mixed in, now what we're going to do is come back to our heavy whipping cream that we whipped up. And we're going to fold it into this mixture, and that is going to give us our pie filling. Now here is our whipped topping. Just add it all in there. And we're just going to fold this in. So nice even strokes. And that's our pie filling. Now we just bring out our crust and put this on top. After about a half hour, your pie crust should be nice and firm. Now all we gotta do is take our filling and put it on top. Just spread it nice and even. Now just take this, we want to put this in the freezer for about 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours to get it nice and firm. You can put it in there overnight, even better. So I've left my Nerds cheesecake in the freezer overnight. It should have frozen nicely, which it has. Now what we're going to do is decorate it. Before we decorate it, we do have to get it out of the pan. And there's a couple ways of doing this. I just like taking a knife, just a butter knife, and go around the edge of it. You can just use the springform pan and pop it, but then it might mess up the sides. I just want to help it along a little. I think that's pretty good. So here we go. Let's pop it open. Perfect. And as you see, you can serve it just like this and it'll be fine. We have the crust at the bottom and that. But what I want to do is just make this a little better by putting some nerds around the whole side. So let's do that. Next, I have just a baking sheet here just to catch all the nerds that don't stick so we don't waste any. And I have some parchment paper. And I have decided to use the regular nerds instead of the rainbow nerds because I really want it to be just the pink and purple color as opposed to the whole rainbow. So I'm just going to pour those in there. Here's a whole package of them. And I'm gonna start with 2 packs. Just kind of mix them together a little. Now we just take our cheesecake and we're gonna roll it in here. Just try to get it on the sides. And it helps if you can push it in there a little. All right, so that's a good start. Now I'm just gonna take some by hand and so I can push it in more. That's where having that baking sheet really comes in handy because stuff falls all over the place. Even with the baking sheet, stuff is falling all over the place. There you go, pretty good I think. Now I also have one of these Nerds ropes, which I'm just going to use that to kind of decorate across the top. Don't know how I want to do it. Next doesn't look good. Let's try something else. There you go, so N for Nerds. That's it, that's our Nerds cheesecake, a really cool recipe and a fun one to make. So now we're just gonna cut this open and see how it tastes. Okay, let's cut this open. Well, now it's time for the taste test. I'm gonna dig into our Nerds cheesecake here and see how it tastes. It's still frozen, so you may wanna let it thaw out a little bit, but the taste will be the same. It's good. Really sweet, as you would expect. It has Nerds inside there, so you get that crunch and you get the sweetness of the cheesecake. It's really good. Really fun cheesecake to make. Hope you get a chance to make it. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this Nerds cheesecake. It was a lot of fun, something different, a different style to a cheesecake, of course. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that like button. Also hit that big red subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to get new videos all the time, and be sure to check out some of the videos I have off to the side. And until then, I'll see you next time. And to make sure everything's nice and even, just take a, everyone who, start over. In today's homemade recipe,